In this video, I'm going to talk about how to avoid muscle imbalances when doing bodyweight exercises. All right, yesterday I put out a video about how a beginner should, bring up a lagging body part. And I basically said, I basically said just keep doing your full body workouts and, your body will correct itself in time. Now, what I want to talk about in this video, however, is, like I said yesterday, some people just have bad workout routines, okay? And they create muscle imbalances because they emphasize certain muscles and neglect other muscles. So what I'm going to say is, when you do body weight exercises, how do you avoid this situation? How do you avoid muscle imbalances? And basically what you do is, it's hard to do because everybody has their favorite exercises, so you have to actually intentionally do this. You have to force yourself to do something you're not going to like. You need to balance out the total volume, okay, that you are doing for the different types of movements. Now, for instance, you have a horizontal pushing movement. Okay, that means, you lay face down and you push yourself up like a push-up, okay? Now, what we need to do is, this is a thing. A lot of people say that push-ups create more muscle imbalances in the body than anything else, and they do because a lot of people neglect horizontal pulling movements, okay? So let's say, I go ahead and I do a total, of 25 repetitions of a push-up. Okay, let's say I do a total of 25 repetitions of a push-up and 25 repetitions of a close hand push-up, okay, total, okay, for my workout. And you can make that harder by doing, close hand push-ups on a medicine ball, by doing push-ups on rings, things to make it unstable. So even though you're only doing 25 reps, it gets harder and harder. You could raise your feet up, but the idea is you're doing a total of, let's say 50 reps for horizontal pushing movements. Well, you need to roll over onto your back and do horizontal pulling movements, okay? The reason why everybody says, and it's true, that the push-up is responsible for so many muscular imbalances is when you're doing a horizontal push, okay? You get down on your chest and you push yourself off the ground. What muscles are you using? The front deltoids, okay? The chest, the triceps. Now, there are 3 muscles in the deltoids: the side, front, and back. And if all you're doing are pushing movements, horizontal pushing movements, you're working the hell out of the front deltoid. But what about the side, and especially what about the back? You're not doing anything for that. So, like I said, you need to balance that out. And the way you do that is, you lay on your chest and push yourself up. Well, lay on your back and pull yourself up, okay? Not a pull-up, but actually, a body weight row, which is basically, like a reverse push-up. You're laying on your back instead of your chest. Instead of pushing yourself up, you are pulling yourself up on a bar or on rings. And it more or less works the exact opposite of the push-up, okay? Like I said, the push-up, you're pushing your chest, your front delt, and your triceps. When you do a bodyweight row, you're doing the opposite. The rear delt, okay, the bicep, and your back. So, like I said, make sure that the total volume is the same, okay? Now, it might be a little bit hard to do that because let's say you're doing, a total of, let's say you're doing a total of 100 reps of push-ups, okay? Let's say you're doing a total of 50 reps of ring push-ups, okay? And a total of 50 reps of close hand push-ups on a medicine ball, okay? That's 100 reps. For most people, it's going to be harder to pull than it is to push. So what I'd recommend you do is you stay at that rep range, okay, for push-ups, and you do a total of bare minimum 50 reps of bodyweight rows. Now, it may be that you have to do 10 sets of 5 reps to get up to that total 50 reps, whereas you're doing sets of maybe 10 reps, for horizontal pushing. Even if you raise your feet up, or even if you do them on rings or whatever, you're still, might have problems doing it. So like I said, just keep at the push-ups you're doing at the total reps, and bring up your horizontal pulls, your rows, until you get up to a total of 100 reps of them. Okay, and it's the same thing, for instance, for vertical. Okay, you know, you might go ahead and do vertical pulling movements. You know, pull-ups, chin-ups. Okay, you're pulling yourself in the vertical plane. Okay. And what do you use for that? Well, you use your biceps, you know, some of your rear delt, and your lats. Okay. Well, what are we going to do in the to go ahead and to do the vertical pushing? Well, you can do if you're advanced, you can do handstand push-ups. Okay, to balance out the biceps work with triceps work, the front delt work, the rear delt work with front delt work. You know. You could also do dips, okay? So, like, let's say I do a total of 25 reps of pull-ups, 25 reps of chin-ups. That means I'm doing a total of 50 reps of pulling, vertical pulling movements. Well, I need to make sure that I do a total of 50 reps of vertical pushing movements like dips, okay? So, like I said, that's basically the way to go ahead and you know, to go ahead and do this. And everybody has their favorites. Everybody has exercises that are easier. You like doing them. You know, a big problem that a lot of people have is they'll go ahead and they'll, you know, for instance, the front of their body, you see more of the front of your body, so you want to work those abs, but you never see your lower back, so you kind of neglect it. If you're doing bridging movements and planking movements, that's good. You know, you do front plank, side plank, well, you need to do some back bridging to work, you know, the back of your body, not just the front of your body, okay? So, like I said, every time when you do your body weight routine, look at what you're doing right now, the total volume, like the total number of repetitions and what it is, and make sure that the exact opposite is getting done as well, okay? If you do, let's say, a minute of front plank for your abs, you need to do a minute of some kind of a back bridge, okay? If you do, let's say, you know, 3 minutes of front plank, side plank, whatever for your abs, okay, you need to do a total of 3 minutes of back bridge, maybe bridge from your shoulder, you know, whatever. You know, hands and feet bridge to work your back. So like I said, if it's a static hold, make sure the time on one side of your body is the same as the time on the other side of your body. If it's a movement, make sure that the number of repetitions in one direction are the same as the number of repetitions in the other direction. Make sure, like I said, you need to actually think about this and look at it on a piece of paper, because everybody's going to have their favorite. You know, maybe you want, oh, I love getting a bicep pump by doing chin-ups. Well, hey, you know, don't forget that you have to push as well. You know, I love, you know, getting a chest pump when I do push-ups. Well, you need to pull and do some rows too, even if it's not, you know, something that you actually see when you look in the mirror.